What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another moto video. And today's video, try not to bother homie, he's just over here posted up. We're gonna go over some tips here that I use to help me learn how to wheelie pretty quick. And by pretty quick, that was about 15 to 20 seat hours. This is not gonna be an in-depth, comprehensive wheelie video. There are hundreds of other videos on YouTube that will show you that. Obviously, the fundamentals that those videos will teach you. What you need to do, clutch in, give it gas. Once the RPMs get up, drop that clutch or slip it, and that bike will start to come up. And once it comes up, got to use that rear brake, modulate it to keep you in balance point, like such. But like I said, all those other videos will teach that. Let's go ahead and get into it. Tip number one that helped me, it's kind of common sense, but when you're learning, there's so much to think about that it can get away from you. Once you're getting comfortable and you're starting to pull that front wheel up a little bit and working on that brake control, sometimes your tendency, I see it with a lot of dudes out here who are trying to learn, their tendency is once they hit that wheelie, once the front wheel comes up, their head goes up too with the bike. Next thing you know, you're looking at Mars. Seems commonsensical, but when you're doing this and that, you can kind of lose it. Try your best to keep that head level. So when I first started, I would go like this. Whoa, there's the sky. What you need to do, just keep your head level and let the bike come up. Just like that. All right, that's quick tip number one. Tip number two, this goes in conjunction with lowering your tire pressure, because when you first start, it's going to be hard to keep the bike going straight, at least on these mini bikes. Tendency is going to go side to side, so obviously you want to lower that tire pressure down. I'd say somewhere in between 8 and 12 pounds, depending on how big of a human you are. When I first started, when I would pull up, I would always go straight to the left or straight to the right, mostly to the left. A lot of it has to do with the pressure that you're putting on the peg. If you're pulling up and you're going straight to the left, obviously your pressure, you're putting it on your left peg more than likely, which is causing you to go that way. And the only way to counteract that, which I found, I was getting frustrated with it, so I hopped on a CBR forum looking for tips. And one great tip that they gave me is really got to pull it up as quick as you can. Hit that brake, you gotta have all your weight over this back tire right here. You wanna pull it back and then just sit right there. A lot of people have the tendency to lean forward, and that's when you'll end up putting weight onto the pegs, and then the bike will start going left or right like that. So try to get your weight back there, try to get the wheel up as quick as you can. I know it's scary when you're first starting. All right, so next tip number three. This one was a game changer for me. I was sitting in the lot, I was frustrated, I was ready to give this crap up, I was tired of it, couldn't figure it out. So imagine the bike coming up. This is the top of the Speedo right here. When I first started, what I wanted to do was look over the Speedo to see where I was going. You know, that's the only thing that makes sense, because it's all this bike here. You can't really see much. You can kind of see through there, kind of see through there. It's just scary looking at it, because, I mean, that Speedo, it looks like it's falling backwards to you, and you're on a moon tune, and you're about to take off. So one thing I tried, I sat over, not much, just about a ½ inch to an inch to my right, and I pictured a window right here. Hopefully you can see it. Might be able to edit it in right here. I pictured this window and I said, you know what, let me get the bike up and look through this window. And it was like the first or second try that I did that just completely changed the game for me. I almost picked it up instantly after that. Because what happens when you look through this little hole, it's a little hard to see here with the camera, but you can see how high the front tire is. Even though it's up like this, and if you're looking at the Speedo, it feels like it's gonna flip back. When I leaned over just a little bit and looked through this hole, I could see the front tire was only about right there. And I said, man, I still got a ways to go before this thing's gonna flip. All I gotta do is hit the brake, and I can watch the tire go up and down. So like while I'm hitting the brake, so I can see what it's actually doing rather than just feeling it. So that made a huge difference. Let me try to give an example here. Try my best to exaggerate it for the camera. This is first gear here. My tendency was to get it up and want to look over the front, and when you're starting, that's no good, because also another thing, when you're in a wheelie, you really want those arms to be extended. It gives you more balance point and more control over the whole I guess fulcrum. So yeah, you really want to have your arms extended anyway, so it kind of went hand in hand. Once I got extended, I looked right here. So let me try to do an example. So I'm gonna pop it up, and then I'm gonna just move my head over real quick. So once it comes up, there, I can see the front tire. I know it's gonna be hard to see on the camera, but you should get the idea. So pull up and look, just look through that window a little bit, and I can see the front tire, and I can see how high it is, and I know that I still got a ways back, and I can just hit the brake and it'll come down. Hopefully you'll be able to get the idea of that through the video. I mean, it's a pretty simple concept. That changed the game. Once I did that, it was like that day or the next day I was pretty much doing wheelies like the whole lot. My final tip here that I can think of, probably I'd say 90 to 95% of y'all ain't trying to hear this one, but learn how to wheelie a bicycle first. I rode a mountain bike for about a year. I learned how to wheelie it in maybe a week or 2 weeks. Learned how to coaster, slow them down, one-handers, death spins, and then it doesn't transfer directly at first to a motorcycle. On a bicycle, you pedal it to get it up, whereas here, obviously you use the throttle. So just the beginning part is different. Once I first hit balance point on this, I started dropping back a little bit, because I could drop back on a mountain bike too, and I said, man, this is the exact same thing. It just transfers over directly once you do get the balance point on these things. So yeah, that's that. Again, this is a little video, not a comprehensive tutorial. It's just giving some tips that I can think of that help me learn how to wheelie fast. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, folks. Don't forget to buy my course. Obviously, perseverance and persistence is a part of it too. Set little goals. Just try to get an inch higher or one parking block further every single day. Before you know it, sitting here dropping back a little bit. Just a little bit of progress a day. And then next thing you know, you're out here in the streets killing them. I really hope this helps, man, because it is so much fun to just be up on one wheel doing this stuff. I don't know why it's fun. I don't know what it has to do with the evolution of man and Darwinism and whatnot, but let's peep something over here real quick before we bounce. There should be something around this corner. Oh yeah, look at that. It is bike night. Look at all the bikes out here. All right, y'all, let's end the video here with a little walkthrough. Check out some sweet motos and whatnot. Yes, sir, big bikes. Oh, it's a beast right here. This little scrambly. See a classic right here. Don't see these often. V65 Sabre. DRZ, that's the next bike right there. Ducatis, Continental Twins, and a big old Busa. It was fun looking at bikes, but it's time to hit these streets, boy. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go out here and look for some people to ride some wheelies with. Be good. Till next time. Yes, sir.